weighing in on a new oil sands pipeline to the West Coast.
The industry's gone through a lot for over a decade. It was really a really good news story.
But that's not everyone's opinion.
Sets back climate progress in Canada significantly.
Plus, starting early and hitting the sales.
We're going to make the best of it and try and battle the crowds and get in and out as fast as we can.
More and more Canadians targeting Black Friday for deep discounts.
You have to go shopping when you can to get the deals.
And a window into a whole other world.
Like I'm making goblets, I'm making fine work, I'm making more sculptural work.
Local artists profiled in their own mini galleries.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Alberta and Ottawa are reigniting discussions about a potential new pipeline to Canada's west coast. But questions remain over the project's viability. The Memorandum of Understanding comes with regulatory barriers, along with fierce opposition from both Indigenous and environmental groups. Mark Villani has reaction from the energy sector following this week's monumental agreement.
For Canada's energy industry, this moment is so much more than a handshake.
You know, getting punched in the face for 10 years, and it feels great for that to stop.
This is a great step to help, get something off the ground.
Alberta and Ottawa are cooperating on a potential pipeline to the west coast to move crude onward to Asian markets. If all goes well, construction could start in 2029.
That means thousands of jobs and millions of dollars of business for the manufacturing sector to build the components, to build the pipes.
But a recent report from the International Energy Agency suggests oil demand could peak by 2030 and slow into 2050, suggesting this new pipeline would come on stream as demand slides. Not everyone agrees.
American shale is peaking, and so that will reduce supply in the entire world in the coming years. And that second, that we do expect that there will be global demand for oil for a lot longer.
But climate activists are pushing back.
Sets back climate progress in Canada significantly. It pits province against province. It's a blow to reconciliation.
The pipeline also comes with conditions, including Indigenous co-ownership, collaboration with BC, a new carbon pricing agreement, and the Pathways carbon capture project moving forward. It's prompting cautious optimism and the need for a better regulatory framework.
And actuality in what does a regulatory framework look like moving forward for investment to come back and confidence to come back for a proponent to step up.
Three major energy companies, Enbridge, Southbow, and Trans Mountain, are part of a technical advisory committee on pipelines, but none have confirmed involvement in this project. Enbridge says it looks forward to seeing how the agreement drives legislative and regulatory changes. Southbow is pursuing growth through mergers and acquisitions, while Trans Mountain declined to say if a new pipeline would impact its current capacity of 890,000 barrels per day, which it plans to raise to 1.2 million in the next 5 years.
If there's not a private sector component, there won't be a pipeline.
A comment some take as a positive sign.
I don't think they would put that in there if they didn't think that that woman step up, but the conditions are right.
And Mark joins us from McDougall Centre tonight. Mark, speaking of private investment for this pipeline, some financial experts are already casting a bit of doubt.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. Analysts at CIBC Capital Markets say they don't expect the private sector to take a lead on a West Coast pipeline project so long as opposition comes from British Columbia as well as some First Nations groups. Now, they say court challenges and regulatory barriers lead to some uncertainty, including some increased costs moving forward, making companies hold off until conditions are more certain. Meanwhile, Alberta now has until July 1st to provide a pipeline proposal to Ottawa, sparking questions over just how fast shovels could hit the ground on a project like this. Tara.
Okay, Mark Villani reporting. Mark, thank you. The Prime Minister got a standing ovation when he arrived at a Calgary Chamber of Commerce luncheon after the announcement yesterday. Premier Danielle Smith got one too when she took the stage at the United Conservative Party's annual general meeting in Edmonton today. But the mood changed when she spoke about resetting the relationship with Ottawa and greater cooperation.
I support a strong and sovereign Alberta within a united Canada. I know we might have a bit of a difference of opinion on that, but I hope people today feel a lot more confident that Canada works than they did a couple of days ago.
Smith took questions on a number of topics, including the recall campaigns against several UCP MLAs.
Would love to get your feedback, because we're talking about, should we modify the rules a bit to tighten it up so that there's more parameters around it? Okay, that's one clap sort of feedback.
Smith's memorandum of understanding with the PM on a new pipeline to the BC coast was a hot topic, as you'd imagine. We spoke to UCP members about the direction the party is headed in light of the pipeline agreement.
It's too far down the line. You know what I mean?
I honestly believe that the Premier is doing a wonderful job.
Tomorrow, members will vote on policy proposals, including the Alberta Pension Plan and Provincial Police Force, and new resolutions from UCP members, including removal of fluoride from community water. Questions continue over how Prime Minister Carney will navigate the fallout of the pipeline deal. After 6 years in the Liberals' inner circle, Stephen Guilbeault quit as Culture Minister Thursday, unable to stomach the PM shifting focus in favor of pipelines. He says several elements of the Climate Change Action Plan that he worked on are about to be dismantled, including consumer carbon pricing, zero-emission vehicle standards, and the emissions cap on the oil and gas sectors.
It's completely understandable that he would stand on that principle. Does that mean that there's a cancer spreading through the caucus? Absolutely not.
Guilbeault will remain in caucus. Carney must now find a new culture minister, though, and Quebec lieutenant. He could also use the vacancy for a broader cabinet shuffle. Many Calgarians hit the shops today on this Black Friday to get a jump on Christmas shopping. For many, it's a chance to beat the rush. For others, it's the opportunity to seek out one particular type of gift, a bargain. Tyler Barrow has more.
Christmas is in sight as shoppers are enjoying Black Friday.
I didn't come here for anything, but I ended up buying more things from Sephora.
We love coming to this day because it gets you in the festive spirit.
For some, the day is pivotal. This couple is here shopping for their 3 kids.
With the times being as challenged as they are, the economy being as bad as it is, any dollar that we can save is honestly so helpful.
And as shoppers flock to get ahead of the Christmas rush, a consensus many are looking for: deals.
Albertans are going to be doing a lot of bargain hunting this holiday season. Black Friday sales should be popular.
Parsons highlights Black Friday sales have risen in recent years, a shift from shopping in December. According to JLL Canada, a commercial real estate advisory firm that collects data on consumer spending for their retail clients, 26% of Albertans expect Black Friday to be their biggest spending day this season, compared with 31% nationally. And Albertans are planning to spend nearly $1,400 on gifts, experiences, and non-gift items this holiday season.
Increasingly, over the years, Black Fridays has become in Canada, as it has been in the U.S. for a long time, the most important shopping day.
For some small businesses, competing with the big retailers isn't viable.
We don't have the margins as a small business to be able to even participate in Black Friday. So our focus has always been consistent, fair pricing.
Some customers see a benefit to shopping local and not focusing on bargains.
Ultimately, when we're seeking out the deals, we're supporting these massive conglomerates, and I'd rather spend my money within the community.
Tyler is at the Inglewood Night Market tonight. Tyler, many small businesses will be rotating through there looking for exposure over the holiday shopping season.
So, Tara, this time of year, it's called the Holiday Market, and there is no better place to be if you're hoping to shop local. There are over 50 curated local businesses selling everything from crafts and candles to clothing and collectibles, something for everybody on your Christmas list. Now, this is the final weekend of the Holiday Market, and it runs until 9 p.m. tonight, and again tomorrow starting at 4 p.m. Tara?
Okay, Tyler, thank you. Alberta's 16,000 nursing care members of the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees have ratified a new collective agreement. Members voted 63.3% in favor of ratifying that agreement. The agreement contains a 12% wage increase over 4 years. The agreement is retroactive to April 1st, 2024, and will expire March 31st, 2028. The deal was announced last Saturday, just minutes after members were supposed to start walking the picket line. A Calgary charity says donations are way down, and it is asking those who can help to keep them in mind this holiday season. The Veterans Association Food Bank says it's dealing with one of the most challenging seasons in its history. Donations have dropped by 80%. It says the shortfall means hundreds of veterans, including seniors on fixed incomes, single parents, and those living with visible and invisible injuries, may go without holiday meals and winter necessities. It has launched a campaign called Hope for Those Who Served.
I think right now
just with inflation and with the teachers' strike, a lot of the places that we would be getting these food donations for our veterans and our families, it's just people are facing some tough times as well.
The organization says the recent postal strike is a factor too, but through its food bank and thrift shop, it can help those most in need. It's looking for warm clothing, hygiene items, gift cards, and monetary donations. 18 volunteer kids have stepped up to make sure teens in Calgary can access some essential items. Youth Spark organized a volunteer drive to pack 600 hygiene kits for the holidays. The kits include menstrual products and soap for girls and deodorant and socks for boys. 200 of those kits were dropped off at the Urban Society for Aboriginal Youth earlier today.
In my elementary school and junior high school, there were like a bunch of kids, and they talked about their experiences, like not having enough hygiene products, or like their parents not having enough money to like support what they wanted, and we think that this would just like help them a little bit.
They are essentials, and sometimes with the price of things, kids can't afford these. So it's going to fill a need in our community immediately.
The rest of the kits will be taken to local youth centers, libraries, schools, and other facilities across the city. This was a special day for more than a dozen Make-A-Wish kids. This is the annual Trees of Joy. Custom Christmas trees are gifted to children through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year, 17 Christmas trees were given to families ahead of the holidays, along with some gifts. One parent says his son has been looking forward to this day for weeks.
It's just, I guess, a reflection of him, like all the things that he really loves, and he loves Christmas and loves spending with family, and yeah, just seeing his face light up and is awesome.
All the trees are sponsored by local companies, and they are fitted for each kid based on what they like. That's beautiful. Let's get our first peek at the weekend forecast. So how's our Friday night shaping up, Danielle?
All right, so we're done with the snow at this point, right up until about Tuesday. So no snow for the weekend falling, but the cold is going to stick around a little longer. So -12 is the base temperature at the airport right now. Feels more like -19 with that lovely wind chill. And as we go through these next 24 hours, not a whole lot better. In fact, even colder by tomorrow morning. We'll kick off the day with a wind chill of -20. And for the most part in the afternoon, the wind chill will be in the -teens, but at times when the wind picks up here and there, it will feel closer to -20 as well. A huge improvement with regards to temperature by Sunday. We'll talk more about that coming up. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. The cold and the snow did have an impact on the roads. There were more than 150 collisions in Calgary today, but police were actually kept hopping province-wide. And later, some tough competition amongst Canada's top figure skaters, battling it out in Calgary this weekend. Terrible tragedy in Edmonton. A child died in an early morning fire, and 2 other children, one in critical, the other in serious condition, are in hospital. Fire crews arrived around 1:20 a.m. and quickly brought that blaze under control. 2 adults were also home. One is in hospital with serious non-life-threatening injuries. An investigation is underway. Alberta's police watchdog has released more details of what happened when a man died during a mental health call in Calgary. On Sunday, police responded to a home on 30th Avenue Southeast. ACERT says a woman reported her son in his 40s, who had a mental health condition, was not making sense and wanting to smash things. She told police she wanted him taken to hospital. When one officer placed a hand on his arm, he is alleged to have punched toward the officer's face. The officer tackled the man, and 2 other officers assisted. The man resisted, and officers used tasers on him multiple times. He then stopped breathing. They attempted CPR, but the man died in hospital. ACERT will investigate the use of force. ACERT has ruled a Medicine Hat police officer used appropriate force when a man was shot and injured in July 2024. The man, who has a mental health condition, was firing a gun in an apartment building, and bullets hit 2 officers, injuring them. ACERT says officers could have been killed if not for the police action. Alberta's Law Enforcement Review Board has dismissed 2 appeals in the Lethbridge Police Service's Memegate scandal. In 2018, an investigation began into allegations 5 Lethbridge officers were sending around offensive memes in a group chat called the Meme Militia. Those memes targeted high-ranking LPS members. They have been sealed to prevent re-victimization, but they've been described by those who have seen them as profane, some even poking fun at mental and physical disabilities. The officers involved were charged with misconduct. Former Deputy Police Chief Scott Wood appealed to have the documents made public, but that has been dismissed. A request by former NDP MLA Shannon Phillips to be heard on the decision to permanently seal the record was also dismissed. Firefighters used the jaws of life to free a crash victim in Calgary this afternoon. 3 vehicles collided at Cornerbrook Gate and Country Hills Boulevard Northeast at around 2:15. An adult complaining of head pains was trapped in the driver's seat. Firefighters freed the victim and paramedics took the patient to hospital in non-life-threatening condition. The morning started with steady snowfall and chilly temperatures in Calgary. Traffic was slow-moving downtown. Later in the day, the snow did taper off, but it was still slippery in many spots. Between midnight and 4 p.m., Calgary police responded to 163 collisions. 17 of those crashes involved injuries, and 24 crashes were hit and runs. Edmonton also experiencing a blast of winter. Up to 5 centimeters of snow fell in the capital city overnight, and roads are slick. Almost 200 people showed up to report accidents at the Collision Reporting Center by mid-afternoon, including someone who slid right into the front sign and then just drove away. About 20 centimeters of snow has fallen on Lethbridge. It made driving a little tricky, but it certainly enhanced the start of Nikayuko Japanese Garden's 10th annual Winter Lights Festival. This year's festival, celebrating the 4 seasons, begins Saturday night and features more than 170,000 lights.
This is CTV News Calgary.
Calgary Zoo, also a very nice place to go when it's cold and all the lights are lit up.
Oh, it's so pretty. Definitely something to do, but if I was going to do it, Sunday would be a better day because it's a little warmer on Sunday. Tomorrow will be yet another cold one, especially for much of the morning. Before we get into the forecast, let's talk about what happened here with this snowfall. In the city, we got anywhere from 4 to 10 centimeters. So 10 centimeters is what registered at the airport, but of course we have so many microclimates, different elevations in the city. Of course, we get a range. So 4 centimeters in some areas. Lethbridge, in the city, at the reporting station, 13 centimeters. But just outside of the city, some communities saw closer to 20 centimeters. Pincher Creek, 17. Medicine Hat, 5. We may even add another centimeter to Medicine Hat before it's all completely said and done. But it's mainly out of the way at this point. So no more snow falling for the weekend. Anyway, next snowmaker is back on Tuesday. All right, wind chill is here, and it's here to stay through tomorrow as well. So minus 14 is what it feels like in the city at the moment, minus 16 in Claresholm, minus 23 in Pincher Creek, and into the minus 20s is what it feels like for Lethbridge and for Medicine Hat as well. Drumheller, minus 16. So basically, it's cold. The cold will reside for one more day, and then you'll really notice a regulation in temperature by Sunday. So huge warm up. All right, this is just about out, but still impacting the far southeast corner. So a few flurries. We also have a lot of wind in the far southeast as well. So this is why we have a blowing snow advisory in place, basically just to the south of Lethbridge and south of Medicine Hat. This is because we have gusty conditions and still some isolated flurries happening. So it's been reducing visibility. Now the conditions are improving, but likely for the next hour or two, you may still be dealing with reduced visibility, and then that advisory will be lifted by Environment Canada. So we're going to fast forward 10 o'clock tonight. You can see that is out of the way. And then I'm just going to advance this because as we go through the weekend, there's no significant weather to talk about, just some cloudy periods at times and a little breezy at times. Now, when we're talking temperature, here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. Minus 9 will be the daytime high, the actual ambient base temperature. But with the wind chill at times throughout the day, especially throughout parts of the morning, it will feel closer to minus 20. So it's a cold one tomorrow. Be prepared. The sun will be deceiving. That sun will come out especially in the afternoon. There should still be some cloud cover in the morning hours, and then partly cloudy for Sunday, but check out the high for Sunday, minus 2. Next week, we get above the freezing mark. So 1 for Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday is the next snowfall, but for all of the next work week, our daytime high should be just above the freezing mark. All right, well, Toy Mountain got a helping hand this morning. Sentinel Storage presented a $5,000 check, boosting our combined total of cash, toys, and essentials to $89,946. Wow, your toy count sits at just over $1,100. Now, a reminder, Tuesday is Giving Tuesday. Cash gifts to Toy Mountain will be matched by generous anonymous donors. Your meaningful donations go a long way in helping families escaping domestic violence.
We do see a spike in need over the holiday season. Many things are happening for families, and individuals are reaching out looking for that extra help this time of year. But domestic violence and abuse is beyond seasons, so it's prevalent in severity and in frequency in our community all year long.
Well, if you are able to, please help us make this year's Toy Mountain the biggest yet. You can make a cash donation online or find a drop-off location nearest to you at ctvcalgary.ca.
A deer with a toboggan caught in its antlers has been freed from the impediment. On Tuesday night, an Okotoks resident spotted a deer with the sled near a condo complex on the north end of town. People tried to coax the animal over so they could help remove it, but after more than an hour, they had to give up because the deer was just too scared. Then late yesterday afternoon, a Fish and Wildlife officer tranquilized it and successfully removed the toboggan. The officer found no obvious injuries, and the deer later walked away. Today, near Canmore, an elk was spotted with Christmas lights stuck in its antlers. There is no word yet on its fate. Bow Valley Wild Smart says residents should ensure decorations are secured tightly. Still to come, an art gallery that is open around the clock. In fact, it's a bunch of little galleries, window spaces, profiling local artists. We'll take you for a peek inside. And later, not everyone will purchase local this Christmas, though many are still trying to at least purchase Canadian. But will they still do it if the price is higher? Stay with us for that. Lougheed House is ready to show you the wonders of a Victorian Christmas. The main floor of the Lougheed home has been decorated to reflect what a Victorian home might look like over the holidays. It will also reflect how organizations like the Red Cross that use Lougheed House as their home base celebrated the holidays. In addition to the decorations, there are also Christmas artifacts related to the history of the house, including the Christmas cards the Lougheed family sent out.
We celebrated Christmas in this house all the way from the origin. So they moved in here in 1891. So when you come in, you're going to get a sense of what that might have looked like. So this room we're in right now is the drawing room. This is obviously very grand. This is where they would have welcomed the public. So this is where we've concentrated a lot of our decorations. So you're going to get a sense of history.
Throughout December, the Lougheed House is offering Victorian Christmas guided house tours, a chance to learn the origins behind the Christmas tree and the sending of Christmas cards. Many emerging local artists jump at the chance to have their work displayed in the window gallery inside the Workland Centre. It's a public space that's open 24/7, and artists say it's a way for them to not only show off their craft, but share some of their culture. Kevin Fleming explains.
She's working with silk and wire to create feathers for her art. Carrie Yap is a millinery artist who makes traditional Chinese opera hats for women. They can take up to 6 months to make. You won't see her hats on stage today, but she uses the same techniques and colors to create the symbolism behind them.
It's a changing practice, so it begins with a paper practice, which is the most traditional way of doing it, so just paper and glue and wire. And then I've integrated my practice, which is millinery couture. So what that means is that everything is stitched by hand.
Yap is one of a handful of artists who've been chosen to have their work featured in the window gallery. She says the artists all have different cultural backgrounds and are celebrating that heritage here.
We've all kind of gravitated towards the theme of identity, self, and cultural preservation and what that means. And I think it's a narrative on Calgary, on how we've expanded and grown in terms of our cultural competency. And it's amazing to kind of see it at the art level as well.
Mateus Martinez dabbles in all kinds of mediums for his art, but loves working with glass.
It's quick, it's instant, it's like you're doing it, it doesn't take more than a couple hours to make a really amazing piece, whereas sometimes with painting or any other medium, it could take days, if not weeks or months.
Martinez has 2 spaces. The blue one is of his most current work, featuring versions of a feathered serpent god from his culture. He says the orange space reflects more of his glass sculpting skills.
You see the other galleries, and they're crisp white walls or crisp black walls, and mine are painted and they're kind of dirty, and they have rocks and stumps and broken glass inside. And it's something that I feel like people never get to see.
Each featured display has an artist bio attached to it so viewers can learn more about the artists and their work. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
So the Window Gallery is located inside the Workland Centre, just outside the Max Bell Theatre lobby. It's open 24/7, and the exhibitions run in 3-month intervals. It's certainly the kickoff to Christmas south of the border. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York was a spectacle, as always. We will give you a seat along the route next. Christmas has arrived at Ronald McDonald House. The festive lights were officially turned on just before 5 o'clock today. The Light the House event helps Ronald McDonald House raise awareness for those looking to volunteer or to donate to the organization. It supports families seeking vital pediatric care away from home. The holidays can be an especially challenging time to be in a stressful situation away from all those normal support systems. And this event shows families that the community is behind them.
We want them to be able to step away from the hospital, step away from everything that they're going through, and enjoy an evening like this and an event like this. Our average length of stay in Calgary is over a month, so we know a lot of the families that are here with us tonight will be with us all the way through the holidays. And as much as we can make that a special time, and in some ways a normal time for those families, that's really part of our job here at the house.
There will also be festivities inside the house tonight, including cookie decorating, face painting, and of course a visit from Santa. That's great. Okay, well, it's Friday, you guys, so we hope that everyone is heading into the weekend dancing like this guy or guys. Okay, it seems like there's 9 guys dancing in unison, right?
Yeah.
That's actually just one guy. He has edited himself into this 8 times. So his name's Cale Brown. He's a dancer. He prefers to dance by himself, I guess. You have nobody to correct, I guess, if it's just you. And then he does all the work through editing.
Well, he's not going out on tour, I can tell you that. Well,
no, exactly.
Suppose, right?
And then it gives you an excuse to buy a bunch of different outfits.
Exactly. Change your hair up every time.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. It looks good. Well, other people are probably heading into the weekend with chores to do, so that's where you need someone to encourage you. Everybody needs a hype girl like this. This mother-daughter duo was bringing up the heavy decorations and storage. It was getting a little hard, but this little girl was all the motivation her mom needed. She was telling her she was strong, she was brave, she was invincible, she was the powerfulest. Oh. It made every step up those stairs just a little bit easier.
With those words of encouragement,
Yeah.
of course it was going up the stairs.
What a nice kid.
So sweet. And I like powerfulest.
Powerfulest. She's the powerfulest. Yeah. Well, in case you missed the spectacle Thursday, New York City was in full celebration mode, of course, as the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade filled the streets. This year's annual kickoff to the holiday season featured 34 balloons, 28 floats, and 11 marching bands from across the country. Tom the Turkey leading the way, and of course it concluded with an appearance by the big man himself, Santa Claus and his sleigh carving a path through the city. Wouldn't that be fun to see in person just one time? It
Such a big production, eh?
Yes.
Looks warmer.
It does. That's fake snow flying. It looks like a very nice day in New York, actually. Yeah. They had to invent winter for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Well, gold has been on a tear, but don't forget about silver. Mining stocks are getting a boost as silver takes a bounce. That's ahead in our business report.
Here's your Skywatch weather camera, and okay, the dust has settled, as they say. The snow is done in the city. You may still see the isolated snowflake, but nothing that will add to any sort of accumulation or anything like that, and it shouldn't reduce visibility much at all. So we're basically done. Now, -12 is the base temperature. That doesn't include wind chill. We'll talk about wind chill in a moment. Today's high was -8, but that was early in the morning. We were cooler in the afternoon in the double digits. All right, when we look at temperatures across the country, -8 was the high in Calgary and Regina, -10 was the high in Edmonton. But as you can see, yes, for the about 4th day in a row, the colder air has settled into the prairies and stuck around, but it's warmer off in BC. 10 degrees was the high in Victoria and Vancouver, and Toronto got to 2, so did Montreal. Fredericton, Halifax got to 5. And we're dealing with the wind chill, so it feels like -20 in Lethbridge at the moment, and closer to that in Medicine Hat as well. -23 is what it feels like in Pincher Creek. The winds are a little stronger. And -16 in Claresholm, -14 Calgary, -18 in Drumheller. It's going to be even a little cooler as we get in through tomorrow morning. So in the -20s will be the wind chill for tomorrow. And closer to Medicine Hat area, it will feel closer to even -30 in the morning. This system is pretty much out of the way, really just fizzling out, but still some isolated flurries in the far southeast corner. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix Rider is free, and for the city, a wind chill of -20, especially in the morning hours. And you may see that at times or feel that at times in the afternoon, but most likely will be a wind chill of -teens in the afternoon. The clouds will clear out throughout the day. Tara?
Questions remain about the viability of a potential new pipeline to the BC coast. Energy proponents say they're excited about the prospect of thousands of jobs. Environmentalists say it sets back climate progress in Canada. The UCP annual general meeting is underway in Edmonton. Danielle Smith was applauded at the start of the meeting, but was booed when she said she supports a strong and free Alberta within a united Canada. And many Calgarians are looking for Black Friday deals. Malls and holiday markets are busy today, and the discounting started early in the run-up to Black Friday, with retailers hoping to convince Canadians to spend early and spend often. This year, many people have prioritized purchasing Canadian products, even if it costs more. But there are indications the lure of low prices ahead of the holidays may lead some to rethink that strategy. Here's Andrew Johnson.
The decorations are up at Vancouver's Pacific Centre, whether shoppers are ready or not.
How's the budget this year? Are you spending more or less, the same?
I don't have one yet.
It's easy if you're spending someone else's money.
Are you planning to spend more money this year, less?
Yeah, I hope more.
How come?
Money of my boyfriend.
For many Canadians, it has been a year of careful spending and supporting local in the face of the U.S. trade war.
Buy Canadian is my priority.
Absolutely, I've been trying to buy Canadian.
But that isn't on everyone's radar.
Are you trying to buy Canadian or do you care?
I don't care.
One question now on Black Friday, featuring the biggest discounts of the year. Will saving money win out over patriotism? Analysts say it may.
Wallets are stretched, and so people who maybe were only buying Canadian, may be tempted, particularly for those big ticket items where there's a big gap between Canadian goods and perhaps US goods. They may be tempted to let their values rest just for a little bit.
There are indications that's happening already, not in the mall, but at the grocery store, where Canadians may be reverting back to their regular shopping habits. That's coming from the CEO of Loblaw, who recently said more shoppers are returning to U.S. products as prices have fallen, at a time of year that's not just crucial for retailers.
For us, it's about selective spending and making sure that you get value out of what you're spending your dollars on these days.
Dollars being pulled in many different directions at once. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Gold has been breaking records this year, and now silver is following. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
All that glitters isn't gold. Silver reached a new high today, lifting mining stocks. Spot silver reached $56.50 U.S. an ounce today. It started the year under $30. It floated Endeavour silver shares almost 13% higher. Aya Gold and Silver up 12%. First Majestic Silver up 11% today. Lower silver inventories have sent prices soaring recently. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.57. West Texas Intermediate crude is down a dime to 58.55. Western Canadian Select is unchanged today. And the TSX gained 186 points for another record close this week. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
The city has inked a new naming rights deal for the Calgary Soccer Centre. It will be renamed the Maxwell Soccer Centre, and the new sign was being installed today. It's a 10-year sponsorship agreement with Maxwell Realty. The city says the dollar value of the deal is confidential. The city says the sponsorship will directly support day-to-day operations and future investments. No programs or services will change. The facility has 8 boarded indoor fields, 3 outdoor fields, and an air-supported dome field. Calgary's first ever Holiday Wonder event kicked off last night and is sure to get anyone into the festive spirit. The BMO Centre is sparkling with more than 1 million lights as part of the event's light show. Families can meet Santa, play in his workshop, even have a snowball fight in the Snow Zone Arena. There's also a life-size gingerbread house. It was designed by the Calgary real estate company Anthem and created by local bakery Chartier. It took hundreds of pounds of gingerbread to create the magical masterpiece.
550 sheets of gingerbread, real gingerbread, that is on that house. The whole house has been decorated inside and out. You can walk through it, and there's some secrets in there too.
Holiday Wonder runs until January 3rd at the BMO Centre. Tickets are available at holidaywonder.ca. Still to come, she is small but mighty. She loves to skate, loves to jump, and she exudes joy on the ice. You'll meet aspiring Olympian Leah Cho after a quick break. Chilly weather didn't stop people from heading down to the University District's holiday market last night. There was shopping, entertainment, skating, and a tree lighting ceremony in the Central Commons Park. There's another market next Thursday night. The Calgary Flames have extended the contracts of Craig Conroy and other members of senior staff. Glenn's back with us now. We kind of knew this would be coming at some point, right?
Tara, the funny thing is they'd already come to terms with Conroy, Don Maloney, Dave Nonis, and Brad Pascal before the season started. They all signed 2-year extensions. Wish they'd have told us. Meanwhile, because of the American Thanksgiving, the Flames in action this afternoon against the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champs, the Florida Panthers. Devin Cooley gets the start and goal for the Flames this afternoon, and just like last game, Flames give up a goal on their first shot. Jonathan Huberdeau, brutal giveaway. Evan Rodriguez goes in, and he will beat Cooley. 1-0 Panthers. Not long after that, the Panthers make it 2-0. Bad line change. Sam Bennett, he goes in on the break. He beats Cooley. 2 shots, 2 goals for the Panthers. Looking just like that Lightning game, huh? Lots of goals in this game. Flames get into the action a little later. Blake Coleman to Yan Kuznetsov over the blue line, shoots, scores. First goal in the NHL, and we got a 2-1 game. And the Flames tied up midway point of the first. Michael Backlund back to Mackenzie Weegar from the point. He'll blast it past Daniil Tarasov. First goal of the year. We're tied at 2. The Flames take their first lead of the game in the second. 5-on-3 power play. Rasmus Andersson the shot. Morgan Frost gets the rebound. He scores. That makes it a 3-2 game, and the Flames increase their lead late in the second. Andersson, another shot from the point. Great deflection in front by Nazem Kadri. His first goal in 10 games. 4-2 for the Flames. Panthers make this one interesting in the third. Brad Marchand, he is going to rip it past Cooley to make it a 4-3 game, but the Flames would put this one on ice, a little later, as Joel Farabee finds the empty net. 100th point in the NHL. Flames overcome a tough start as they beat the Panthers 5-3, your final. Well, we're now in the finals of the Canadian Olympic curling trials. The women took to the ice first today to start their best-of-3 final. Rachel Holman up against Christina Black in the women's final. 8th end, Holman up 4-2. She has the hammer facing 2 black rocks. She's attempting the double takeout, but she's only going to get 1, so it's a steal of 1 for Black, and it's 4-3. 10th end, Black with the hammer, trailing 5-3. She has a chance at the win, or at least, the very least, to tie the game, but this an extremely tough shot. Black attempting the hit and roll, but doesn't roll enough. She only gets 1. Rachel Holman and her rink win game 1. 5-4 is your final. All right, best-of-3 men's final. Matt Dunstone up against Brad Jacobs. Second end, Jacobs up 1-0. Dunstone has the hammer. He's got the draw, the open draw, but it's heavy, so it's a steal of 2 for Jacobs and a 3-0 lead. But the game turns in the 5th, down 5-2. Dunstone hammer once again, chance for the draw, and this time he takes full advantage. That's 4. Count him up, 4. Dunstone takes a 6-5 lead. It is now 7-6 in that game. I think it's I think Jacobs is up 7-6. All right, 2025-26 Skate Canada Challenge going on right now at the 7 Chiefs Sportsplex. And one young skater from the Glencoe Club continues to tear it up on the ice. It's not hard to spot Leah Cho when she's at the rink. She's usually the smallest competitor. Despite her lack of size, the 13-year-old is soaring to new heights every time she hits the ice.
My favorite thing is like feeling the fresh air when I skate, and when I jump it like makes me feel like a bird.
Cho started figure skating when she was just 5 years old and has gotten better every year. She's the defending Canadian junior women's figure skating champ. Last year in Laval, Quebec, she won the title with a record-breaking score of 188.79 points.
I honestly think the reason why I'm good at skating is because when I skate, I always feel very happy about myself, and it just makes, when I skate, it just makes me happy seeing all my friends, coaches, and doing all my jumps and elements just make me feel so happy when I skate.
This week, Cho was skating in Calgary at the Skate Canada Challenge, where she was once again the runaway winner. And that means she qualifies for the Nationals again. Cho skates out of the Glencoe Club, and her coach, Scott Davis, says she puts the work in.
Leah is very dedicated and works really hard. One of the hardest workers I've ever seen, and really diligent, and one of the most consistent skaters at such a young age, which is pretty impressive.
Cho's short-term goals are to compete internationally and skate in junior Grand Prix. Beyond that, she wants the Olympics.
Honestly, I think going to the Olympics will be a total big dream for me. I watched Yuna Kim compete at the 2014 Olympics, and I honestly really wanted to compete in the Olympics when I saw that, and I was like, that's my goal, just to compete for Canada at the Olympics.
And admission free, can't beat that. Go out and check out the best figure skaters from Canada at the 7 Chiefs Sportsplex.
I feel like we might see her at the Olympics someday.
I think so too. She is
good.
So good.
Yeah, thanks.
Does all these triples. It's wild.
It's cool to watch. She's great. All right, final peek at the forecast, Danielle.
So, are we ready for a warm-up?
Yes.
Everybody's ready for that? All right, well, temperatures are going to regulate. It'll start on Sunday. Sunday will still be cooler, but not as cold as today and tomorrow. Tomorrow with the wind chill at times, it will feel like -20. So be prepared for a chilly day, but it will be brighter out. The sun is back. And then -2 for Sunday, and we'll get above freezing for Monday. Now, the key thing for next work week, every day of the next work week, our daytime high should be just above the freezing mark. Our next snow event will be Tuesday. I'm not sure this far away if it will be as significant as the one we just had. I will keep you posted. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget. Alberta's Climate and Ellen Budd sent this one in, taken in Signal Hill. Not bad having this view from your window, I would say.
That's a beautiful shot. The color in that is gorgeous.
Yeah, and we did get some snowfall, didn't we?
We did indeed. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific weekend. For breaking news anytime, go to our website, ctvnews.ca/Calgary.